How to make your Ubuntu 24.04 look modern with a stunning HyprLand setup. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install HyprLand on top of Ubuntu 24.04. Now, thanks to the GitHub developer, the installation is automated and can be completed within a minute. For those who are not familiar, HyprLand is a violent compositor based on WL roots, offering a smooth animations, dynamic tiling, and straightforward configuration. Let's start the process of customizing Ubuntu with HyprLand. First, ensure you have a fresh copy of the latest Ubuntu 24.04 installed on your PC or laptop. I'm running the latest Ubuntu at the time of recording this video. Before setting up HyprLand on Ubuntu, make sure you have at least 10 GB of free space available on your computer. Then install Timeshift, a backup tool that allows you to capture snapshots of the system. This backup will be used if anything goes wrong after installing HyprLand. Ensure you back up the entire root system and home directories. Then click on Create to take a snapshot of the current state of Ubuntu. Additionally, back up any important files to an external drive for extra safety. Then open the terminal and update your system by running the command Once it's done, it's recommended to install some dependencies or packages before setting up the HyprLand environment. Now run this command to install Git and other required packages, then reboot the system. It's time to set up a HyprLand environment using an installer script created by the Maverick developer. Visit the GitHub page to learn more about the setup. I recommend reading the developer instructions to understand how HyprLand works on the latest Ubuntu 24.04. The developer suggested cloning the latest commit, but I had no luck with this method as HyprLand did not work as expected. So we'll use the standard cloning method by copying this URL. In the terminal, type git clone and paste the copied URL. Now navigate to the cloned repository and look for the install sh file. Then execute the command to change permissions and run the script. After running the script, you will be asked some questions. Type Y to proceed with the HyprLand installation on Ubuntu. Now follow the instructions precisely. With Ubuntu 24.04 LTS, you don't need to edit any apt source list. Simply type Y to continue. If you have NVIDIA GPU, type Y, otherwise choose No. Then proceed to install GTK themes, the file manager, and configure Bluetooth. Since Ubuntu comes with the GNOME display manager, which can be used to launch a HyprLand session, simply type N when asked about installing a simple display manager. Then type Y to install XDG desktop support. If you want to install Z shell, type Y. You will then be asked to install NWG Look. Now installing this package will take a lot of time to build and it's completely optional. If you're trying this on Asus ROG laptops, type Y, otherwise type N. It's recommended to install pre-configured HyprLand files. Now the installer will do its magic. This may take some time. Most of the core packages are downloaded from the internet, built and compiled from source. So please be patient and respond to the prompts requesting your authentication. While the script is running in the background, I will disable sleep mode by modifying the power settings to prevent my computer from sleeping. And that's it, the script ran successfully without any errors or warnings. Everything went perfectly. Now type Y to reboot your computer. On the login screen, click on the username, then click on the settings gear icon at the bottom right and choose HyprLand. If you don't see the HyprLand option, the installation may have failed. You can verify that by pressing Super plus Alt plus F2 or F3 to open TTY and log in with your username and password. Then type HyprLand and press Enter. If it starts the session, the installation was successful. Otherwise, you may see errors and you will need to log in into the GNOME session, restore the timeshift backup, and rerun the script. In my case, I had no issues. As you can see, it shows the HyprLand session. You can switch between GNOME and HyprLand using the GNOME Login Manager. I'm going to select the HyprLand session, enter the password, and voila, we are within the HyprLand environment. Now this is the most HyprLand configuration you have ever experienced. The developer offers you the flexibility to modify the system, Waybar layout, wallpapers, and much more. The first thing to do after setting up HyprLand is to press the Super plus H. The Super key is the Windows key on your keyboard. Now this brings up a list of key bindings related to specific applications or shortcuts to open wallpapers, configure Waybar style, and much more. I recommend reading it and remembering some shortcuts. To close any app window, you can press Super plus Q. Pressing Super plus Enter brings up the Qt terminal. Now let's go ahead and increase the font size of Qt terminal. To do so, in the home directory, there is a hidden folder named config, which is where all the HyprLand configuration files are stored. For example, to change the initial font size of the Qt terminal, you can run this command to edit the Qt configuration file. I'm going to increase the font size by 20 points and save the changes by pressing Ctrl plus O and Ctrl plus X to exit. Then I'm going to close the terminal by pressing Super plus Q and reopen it by pressing Super plus Enter. Now you can see the font size has increased. You can always edit the HyprLand configuration files by pressing Super plus E. Now as you can see, all the configuration files are organized neatly. Now let's see the default keybinds configuration file. You can make various changes to this file, such as modifying default keyboard shortcuts. For example, I'm going to add a key binding or shortcut to open the Chromium web browser. The shortcut I'm going to set is Super plus C. Then save the changes. Then let's go to another workspace by pressing Super plus A to bring up a workspace overview layout. I'm going to use the empty new workspace. Now if I press Super plus C, this opens the Chromium web browser. You can also use a 3-finger gesture to swipe left or right to switch between the workspaces. HyprLand is for those who love using keyboard shortcuts. If you're that type of person, you will love this for sure. To update or change a wallpaper, you can press Super plus W. This brings a panel to choose the wallpaper you fancy. The source for these wallpapers is the Pictures directory. You can paste any wallpaper over there and press Super plus W to find and apply it. Now I'm going to open File Manager. Inside the Home directory, Ctrl plus H to see hidden folders. Then choose Config, Hyper, and User Scripts. I'm going to rename this file by adding a .back to its name. Now this script automatically updates the random wallpaper every 30 minutes. Renaming the file prevents the script from running. Now pressing Super plus Alt plus W on your keyboard lets you choose the Waybar layout. You can configure the Waybar layout using the file configuration. For example, you can move the Waybar to the bottom using the bottom layout. For now, I'm going to choose the top minimal long layout. Then pressing Super plus Ctrl plus W allows you to choose the Waybar style. You can choose anything you fancy. Now you can see on the top left, clicking on the HyprLand logo brings up the Rovi app launcher, which you can use to search for any installed application and open it. You can also use the keyboard shortcut Super plus D to bring up the app launcher. The Waybar provides more system controls to connect to Wi-Fi, access the notification panel, and power menu, which looks next level. To learn more about Waybar customization, check out the video by JA. I will leave a link in the description. If you have installed HyprLand on a laptop, you may notice brightness or keyboard brightness does not work. To fix this issue, open the terminal and execute this command. Now you can see that you can increase or decrease the brightness using the keyboard shortcut. In case you want to go back to GNOME Desktop, log out from the HyprLand session, click on the username, then click on the sprocket icon at the bottom right and choose Ubuntu. If in case you decide to remove HyprLand and return to the original state of Ubuntu, you can use Timeshift Backup to restore the snapshot. Overall, I would say Ubuntu 24.04 with HyprLand offers the best desktop experience. And that's about it. This is how you can install HyprLand on Ubuntu. A huge thanks to all the developers who contribute to making Linux beautiful. Don't forget to explore the GitHub page for further insights into the HyprLand configuration. Thank you so much for watching. This is been KSK Ryle. I will see you in the next one.